I, the bride, take the groom to be my lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, and I promise to be faithful to you until death do us part. Whether you have been to a wedding or not, you have probably heard at least part of these vows, because most weddings in real life or on TV use these traditional and well-known vows. Today, I am going to inform you on how wedding traditions came about. Let's begin by discussing where the bride's veil came from. According to Bride and Groom's article, The History of Wedding Traditions, the veil symbolizes the bride being pure and innocent. Even though the symbolism has been lost over the time, the veil is still commonly worn today. In Asia and some Middle East countries, the veil was worn to cover and hide the face of the bride from the groom, and he was only allowed to lift the veil after they were married. Another common tradition is the white wedding dress. The wedding dress being white was made popular in the Middle Ages by Anne of Brittany. According to Pibb Wedding's Wedding Traditions and Origins, it was rumored that the white wedding dress became popular by Queen Victoria in the 19th century, who chose a white gown over the traditional royal silver. The groom's outfit today is usually a tuxedo, which was made popular by President Teddy Roosevelt. Before the tuxedo, the groom normally wore his best outfit. In addition to the white wedding dress, a common custom is the use of wedding and engagement rings. The very first wedding rings date back to the ancient times when superstitious grooms or husbands tied ropes made of grass around the bride's wrists and ankles to keep her spirit from leaving too soon or running away. After they changed their minds about tying ropes around the bride's wrists and ankles, iron rings were traditionally used by the Romans. And now today, gold is used for rings that represent purity. And according to Abazius.com, silver wedding rings are also used to symbolize purity. Diamond rings were later used by the Italians, who thought that diamonds were made out of the flames of love, which brought it to become part of wedding rings. Wedding rings are worn on the fourth finger of the left hand. Today, it is also known as your ring finger. Ancient Romans believed that the vein in the ring finger went directly to the heart. Today, the rings represent the love and connection between spouses. The wedding bouquet is modernly used today with pretty flowers, but originally it was made of herbs, which were meant to scare away any evil spirits that try to enter the bride and groom's future life as a married couple. Before wedding flower bouquets, there were wedding garters. Originally, the bride would toss the garter at the wedding reception. The garter developed when witnesses would stand at the bed after the wedding to make sure the marriage was consummated. The witnesses of the consummation would bring the garter back as proof that the marriage was put into effect. Because of having a witness, many couples felt that it was a huge violation of privacy. So they eventually changed it to the groom removing it at the reception and tossing it, which whoever catches it is apparently the guy who will get married next. Since the groom tossing the garter to the possibly next groom, the bride will toss her bouquet. And whichever woman catches that will be the next to get married. This bouquet toss originated in the past, when people believed that brides were very lucky on their wedding day. This led people trying to rip off pieces of her dress to bring some of her luck to themselves. This brought forth the bride to toss her bouquet to give the guests some of her so-called luck. Another common practice for weddings is having bridesmaids and groomsmen, or a best man. Bridesmaids originated because they needed some people up there who looked similar to the bride and wore similar dresses so they could confuse evil spirits. The groom having a best man was very different because it had nothing to do with evil spirits. Having a best man originated when a man chose a woman that he wanted to be his wife. He would kidnap her if her family did not like him. Kidnapping a future wife was not a one-person job, so a guy would bring one of his friends to help him do it. When the bride's family came to get her back, the best man stayed by the groom's side, armed to make sure that they did not try to take her back. The next most common tradition is a wedding cake. Originally, the wedding cake was not eaten, it was thrown at the bride or broken over her head to symbolize her fertility, because it was made of wheat, which symbolizes fruitfulness. And then guests would take pieces of the cake to take home for good luck. The honeymoon is also a familiar tradition in most marriages. According to brideandgroom.com's article, the honeymoon originated by the Teutonic people who held their wedding ceremonies under full moons, and then for the whole cycle of the full moon, which is 30 days, both the bride and the groom drank honey wine every day, and then it later became commonly known as the honeymoon. Now the tradition has changed a lot to where the newlywed couple will leave their friends and family to go on a vacation. Giving away the bride is also a common tradition between the father and his daughter. This tradition dates back to when daughters were considered their father's property and would choose who she marries. Now it is used for the father to let his little girl go to the man she wishes to spend the rest of her life with. You can now tell how far we have come in the past 50 years or so by the different types of traditions that have changed into what they are today. Who knows what traditions they might have in the next 10 years? I guess we'll find out. Thank you.